Hello friends, how are you? In this video we are going to discuss the development of economics. The various phases of development of economics, in which the first phase we can analyze it as classical economist. Friends, before that also economics was in existence, but a few mercantilists was operating that part, in which few suggestions of economics was considered by the government in that phase. After introduction of Adam Smith in 1776, his first book, An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of the Nation, economics comes in existence in a very systematic manner. It was that phase of economics from where you can say economics comes in existence, and it start various analysis on various factors. Adam Smith itself analyzes various factors of economics. This was an era, you can say, which was continued to 1870. After that, marginal economics, revolution, you can say, and it also known as new classical economics, was developed. This was the period of marginal revolution, in which the major contribution was contributed by Alfred Marshall. In 1870, it was the introduction of mathematics was considered in economics. From 1870 to 1920. I am mentioning 1920 here just because introductions of Keynes theory was getting started from 1920, and its impact was shown up to the time period to 1970. Professor Keynes shows very impact on the analysis of economics of various factors. Professor Keynes, you can say it was a time of 1920 after the completion of First World War. Although the Professor Keynes' first book was published in 1936, Theory of Income and Employment was published in 1936, but his presence was also started considering from 1920. After finish of First World War, his policies were very impact. His presence was also shown in First World War, and you can say the presence was such powerful that after First World War, British government offer him salary of £2,000 per week. You can say it was large amount as comparison to that period. Per week 2000. You can understand his impact and presence. As I told that his first book was published in 1936, but many factors he was starting considered from the period of 1920. He opted to publish many theories from 1920, and his existence was shown in presence to the period from to 1970. His main focus was that at the time of emergency, government should take charge, and government should consider all the factors and take decisions regarding economy, which was not explained by classical economists. Classical economists and also new classical economists was saying that there is a market equilibrium, there is a existence of market equilibrium in which all the factors get settled as per the market, demand and supply theory. But after that, Keynes, because of 1928, a big recession hits to the world, hits to the America, and after that, Keynes explains that you can't depend on the market forces of demand and supply. Government should interfere, and government should take charge in the case of emergency. And but this Keynes theory was effective in short run only, but in long run some problems started to be affect the economy. And at that time, second generation new classical economist comes in the existence. It was the period from 1970 to 2008. 2008 I am mentioning here because after 2008 Keynes theory was reconsidered. 2008 was that period in which a big recession hits the world. That's after that Keynes was also, you can say, remind in the mind of economists, and many economists gives the view that Keynes theory should be considered in emergency. But from 1970 to 2008, some market equilibrium and some classical economists and you can say classical economist supporter that in that period from 1970 to 2008 emerge, and they contribute, they support the classical economist opinion. Friends, let study it in detail. First of all, we are going to analyze the classical economist. As I told you that it was the era which was started from 1776, the first introduction of book of Adam Smith, which was considered as the wealth of the nation. The full name is An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of the Nation, in which he explained various aspects of the economy. He also contribute many other theories, just like invisible hands, laissez-faire, in which he mentioned that there is no need of interference of government in the economy. In long run, economy will itself adjust all the factors by its demand and supply. He gives absolute cost advantage theory and division of labor, which and this theory was further improved by David Ricardo. Ricardo improved the theory of absolute cost advantage theory of Adam Smith, as he gives the theory as comparative cost advantage theory. He also Adam Smith gives the theory of division of labor, then Ricardo modified as labor theory of value, and Ricardo also gives the theory about economic rent. You can say Adam Smith, the impact of Adam Smith and Ricardo was too much in the classical economist opinions, and that after J.B. Say was also shows its existence, in which his theory supply creates its own demand. Whole world feels the existence of supply. Although this theory, which was published by J.B. Say, was not fulfilled all the criteria in the whole world economy, but no author, no even Keynes also don't deny these theories, because you can't say these theories of J.B. Say or any theories of economists gets 100% foolproof. That's why you can say the 80% economics theory will apply on the economy. And Malthus also gives his contribution, theory of populations, you can say, and these all authors, if combined, we can say these takes part of the classical economists. Friends, now it takes another era to develop. It was the introduction of mathematics in the economics, and in this criteria marginal economist takes charge, and they considered many factors and introduced marginal in many theories of the economics. Although the working level and working field was different from the classical economists, but they contribute in a different sense, in a different way in the economics. Let's see. First name is W.S. Jevons from UK. He started mathematical methods in economics, as I told you. And second was Carl Menger from Australia. He was also known as founder of Australian School of Economics. And Leon Walras from France. General equilibrium theory he gives in the economics. And later on, and final, you can say Alfred Marshall. Although I want to give the name of Alfred Marshall earlier, but we can't. Alfred Marshall finishes, or you can say Alfred Marshall completes, as we can say W.S. Jevons, Carl Menger, Leon Walras was giving their contribution, but these theories get developed and finalized with reference to Alfred Marshall. That's why, last but not least, Alfred Marshall was mentioned here, and his contributions was what takes presence in marginal utility, demand and supply. Supply was although given by the classical economists, but with demand and supply, demand also becomes a very important part for the economics, and supply was contributed by classical economists, and demand was introduced by neoclassical economists. That's why we can't say marginal revolution or neoclassical economists, as they also, their opinion was also correlate with classical economists. That's why we can't say they have different theory or different approach with classical economists. As in the case of Keynes theory shows a different and opposite approach of classical economists. But we can't say neoclassical economist has the opposite opinion with classical economists. We can also consider here A.C. Pigou gives his maximum contributions with Alfred Marshall in these theories. After that, we are going to analyze Keynes theory. Friends, I told you that Keynes' existence was giving in presence from First World War, and many theories was introduced by Keynes, in which the main important, I told you that general theory of employment, interest and money was introduced in 1936. In 1936, he, you can say officially his first book was published, but his contribution in economics was in presence from 1920, and many theories he contributes, just like absolute income hypothesis, second liquidity trap, in which he also explained the liquid speculative transactions, psychological law of consumption. The most popular psychological law of consumption was given by Professor Keynes. Probability theory. Many, you can say Keynes was itself is a school. If we consider economics has two schools, classical economics and Keynes approach school, because in Keynes gives his existence presence in many sectors, many factors he contribute in economics, just like multiplier effect. So friends, these are the theories: theory of money and price, concept of government deficit was also given by the Keynes. These are the major contributions which are provided by Keynes. This is an overview. We can't just discuss in details in a single video about these theories. As I told you that Keynes was itself a school, and lots of opinion, lots of theories was developed by Keynes. Okay friends, now we are going to move to the second generation new classical economists. Friends, if we consider about neoclassical, then we discuss about Jevons, Karl Mengers, Walras, Alfred Marshall, C.C. Pigou. These are the neoclassical. I found many confusions in the mind of various students that sir, please explain which was the classical economist, which was the new classical economist, and what is the distinguish between new classical economists. I am clear. I am getting clear in this video that the new classical economists was a phase which was developed from near about 1970. Some theories of Keynes in 1960s was not sounds good for the economy. After that, lots of work need to be developed, because a long period analysis should be considered in the economics, and Keynes was only focused with short term analysis, short term policies. That's why a need of second generation new classical economists need to be found. The contribution was given by John Muth and Robert Lucas. They gives the theory of rational expectations theories. Then after, Milton Friedman also gives its contribution in permanent income hypothesis, in which they further in these theories it was a further and some drawbacks of Keynes, or some improvement in Keynes theories was done by these authors, and the approach was related to the classical economists. That's why these are known as second generation new classical economists. Then after, everything good sounds good in the economy, but a large recession hits to the world economy in 2008. In 2008, after that, as I told you, Akerlof, Krugman, Mankiw, Michael Woodford, these were the economists which were of the opinion that government should intervene. It is always a situation which comes in the mind of the economist, in which they say or they mention that government should not involve in the equilibrium of the economy, because economy will itself manage in long term with the help of demand and supply. But you can't ignore the factor, you can't ignore the existence of government in the cases of some emergencies. Emergencies needed to be resolved with the help of government only. That's why in 2008 and in the period of 1920, the Keynes theory becomes popular. Some, you can say, Samuelson also gives a theory of revealed preference theory. So friends, these are the theories, you can say, in a single. We have just contributed efforts to cover all the various phases of the development of economics, and lots of theories we are mentioning here from 1776 to 2008, and that is a very difficult task. So friends, if you found some improvement or some anything else, you can please mention in the comment, and if you like it, then please share, subscribe, and like the channel and like the video. Thanks a lot friends.